there are other stocks which are there on editor's radar this morning as well. We have two brokerage notes coming in. On account of that, M&M as well as Kotak Mahindra Bank will be in focus. Let's start with M&M first, Nikunj. This is that darling of stocks of 2022, was up over 50% last year. But now finally there is a word coming in from BofA that perhaps risk-reward is now a bit neutral.
There are two things which worked for Mahindra & Mahindra. Change of guard, they exactly did what the Tatas did in terms of a large group, multiple subsidiaries, squeeze out the inefficient and scale up the efficient ones. That's what they did, and that was empirically visible in some of the tough decisions they took. For example, exiting SsangYong, reducing exposure to some of the non-core low return businesses, and then focus only on the SUV business. Who would have thought 3 years ago that SUV business in India or SUV sales in India would be 40% of the total sales? I mean, India was always supposed to be this whole bottom of the pyramid market, where bottom of the pyramid, Sasta, Sundar, Tikau will always do well. When you're looking at SUV, it's a complete change in mood and complete change in mentality. It is like, power and brute force at affordable price. So that has been a change in narrative for Mahindra & Mahindra, which did exceedingly well for the stock. And then there was a EV investor. Now what's next? Tractor sales, monsoon impact, higher valuations, very well discovered. So I think Mahindra & Mahindra now runs the risk of maybe either underperforming or moving into some time-wise correction for a long period of time, because from a market standpoint, a lot of news what we're discussing today and a lot of good things what they've done today is something markets have factored in, let's say in last 1 year. Look at the stock, 52-week up in last 1 year, when markets in last 18 months have given no return. So in a no return market, if a stock goes up 50%, that just tells you the outperformance it has had.
Clearly a massive outperformance, but then let's shift completely different to the stock which has underperformed massively. If you look at the 52-week chart, that will tell you that the stock has done nothing. Perhaps a marginal negative return is what we should be expecting for Kotak Mahindra Bank. Yes, down about 2%, but finally there is some light at the end of tunnel that it seems to be the case, because there's an upgrade coming in from CLSA this morning and suggesting a 25% upside.
Why did the stock underperform? Again, if you look at the Bank Nifty into contrast with what Kotak has done, the Bank Nifty in last 1 year has done reasonably well. And yet if Mahindra and Kotak has not done well, that just tells you that the stock not only has given no returns, but it has given no returns when the index per se or the sector per se has got massively re-rated. That's the Bank Nifty up 10%. Kotak Mahindra Bank in last 52 week is down 12%. Now this used to be the haloed stock. It was expensive, FIs have selling, but more importantly, they had a dim outlook of economy. They were not really lending. And as a result, they were not expanding their book post-COVID. Is there a realization there? A. B. Now with Kotak Mahindra Bank, markets in a sense have always associated Mr. Kotak's face as the real decision maker there. Now, how will the succession plan move for Kotak? Will it be internal? Will it be external? I hope it's internal, because the understanding of the book is better. The stock the business has no problem per se. Now you can see that they've started lending. And typically when you're in an environment like this, when you're talking about global crisis, NPA, H2M losses, banks like HDFC Bank and Kotak, they do very well. This was the same factor which was at play between 2006, 15 and 18, when the sector was going through a huge crisis, and only two stocks which did well, Kotak and HDFC. I think we're raising that face again.
Oh, well, yes, the quality of the book finally comes to the forefront when there is a turmoil like this, and Kotak is known to be very conservative when it comes to their lending as well. Was the reason of the underperformance, but could that be the reason of outperformance? At least CLSA is banking on that. With that, it's back to you, Aisha.
Okay, in the meantime, that aside, or rather the view on Kotak Bank aside, Mr. Uday Kotak has actually tweeted, and let me just read that out to you. He's stating that NBFC resolution, Reliance Capital, Shrey Infra experience signals very poor recovery, below liquidation value for creditors, stating that the NCLT process is also tardy, whether IBC or otherwise. He's saying in Ireland FS2, while recovery ratio is better, legal process takes long time for policy relook at the financial sector resolution level. But let's talk some more stocks which are going to be in focus. And Sandeep, Nikunj was just highlighting his views on M&M. Do you also think that the stock could very well go into some sort of time-wise consolidation after an excellent last year? Sandeep?
Yeah, so I lost your audio. So you were asking about M&M, right?
Yes, I was asking about M&M. And do you think that at least in the interim, the best could be behind us in terms of its outperformance last year? And could we see some time-wise consolidation in the stock from here?
So it's possible because too many analysts are turning negative on a possible El Nino and its impact on M&M. So to that extent, I think uh, it's possible that the stock consolidates. But I think the the moot point is missed by most of the analysts, and which are the long-term drivers, which is the quality of their product profile, how they have changed the products as per the changing requirements of the customers, as well as the direction in which the EV evolution is going, and their continued outperformance on the farm equipment side also, where farm mechanization will only increase going forward. So there'll be blips in and there, but and the stock is still not very expensive. So such phases where analysts turn negative are typically good for good quality companies, as it gives opportunities for investors who have not invested to possibly buy cheaper. Longer term, I don't see much issues in the stock doing well.
Okay, so for the long term, M&M is still a good bet. That's the word coming in from Sandeep. But which are the stocks that Neeraj Dewan is betting on? He likes a couple of names with the entire infrastructure theme around it. Let's find out those names.
L&T among the infrastructure space has been doing quite well. And in last quarter, you see execution picking up also. Order books are very good, whether it's L&T, like you flashed NCC also, there also order books are very good. But among the other companies, we've been bullish on Kalpatru Power. JMC's merged into it, so it's become a bigger company. So that can continue doing well. Some of the companies which are into water and related space, like Ion Exchange, they are doing well, and they've also corrected from the high of 3,500 odd that they saw. We've already seen 10 to 12% correction in those companies. And even in the pump space, Kirloskar Brothers is one company which we like. The company have been doing well. Their margins are also picking up. Their volumes also picking up. So there also that valuation comfort is there.